Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Soundgarden there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday evening.
Nice, Jase. Hey, can we do some acting chat, fellas?
Sure.
I'd love to. The whole world is a stage. What are you guys up to?
Acting chat with Jason Mike.
And tonight, Keyzie as well. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole lately watching small documentary type things of some of the greatest actors ever
What do you mean lately?
and what makes them great.
Right.
I meant this weekend whilst hungover. So I've gone through a few of the icons, and it seems to me that there is a general sort of agreement in the acting world that Daniel Day-Lewis and Marlon Brando are two of the best actors of all time. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Jace?
I'd agree that that's how it's...
How it's perceived.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily agree that they were.
And we'll talk about Daniel Day-Lewis another time because he's bloody interesting the way he operates. But Marlon Brando is such a weird one. I went down this rabbit hole, watched like an hour-long thing on his life, the way he acted. So what made Marlon Brando, in your guys' opinion, such a good actor?
Well, he was one of the first actors to bring realism into his performance, so it was more grounded.
Yeah.
And rather than performative, it was based in real life and reality.
And but he also had this weird thing where he refused to learn lines. People thought it was because he was lazy or whatever, but then he would say stuff like, it's because no one knows what they're going to say until they've been hit with
that was much later in his career. That wasn't at the start.
Yes, and Brando famous, of course, for putting his lines in drawers and around the set because he couldn't be asked learning them, and he also was not very good at remembering them.
That's right.
And dummy boards.
Yes.
And so there's like a famous photo of them filming The Godfather where he got the Oscar playing Vito Corleone, nailed it with the weird teeth in, right? And literally his co-star has got a full sheet of paper with all his lines written down his front, and it's like an over-the-shoulder shot.
Yes.
And Vito is literally reading off this guy.
Interesting. It's really interesting you bring up Marlon Brando, actually, because I watched a film just recently, when I say recently, about a month ago, and it was him playing an Irishman, Mogi. And I'm just trying to remember what the name of the film was, and his Irish accent was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But also not uncommon for actors of those days not to go the extra mile. I mean, Sean Connery famously won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Untouchables, where he played a policeman called O'Malley, an Irishman, with Sean Connery's voice, a Scottish accent.
Yes.
And he won the Academy Award for that. So it's not a modern, it's a modern thing for actors to go through the trouble of learning accents properly, I think.
So
yes.
The interesting thing for me with Marlon Brando, because everyone's like, he's the best actor of all time, but then you look at some of the movies he did, like literally they showed me the old ass Superman movie where he played Superman's dad, and there's a baby Superman, and he literally had his lines written on the baby's diaper.
Yeah.
And he got $3 million to be on that movie and 10% of the earnings. Meanwhile, Superman, the guy who played the main role, only got $250,000.
Yeah.
And he was just a complete nightmare to work with the whole time. So he went through these weird phases of being really into acting and they're just really selling out massively and not giving a shit and not turning up.
Yeah, he needed the money. So by the time you're talking about that, you're not talking about the great actor anymore. You're talking about the guy that's just taken a check and is over the commercialism, who wins an Academy Award, but sends up a Native American woman to accept the award on his behalf and to protest. Well, not even to accept the award, to protest how the Native Americans are being treated. Was that for Apocalypse Now? I think it might have been.
I think it was Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Well, because he was Native American too, wasn't he?
No, I think he said he was, and that was as far as it went. He used to sleep with Native American women.
Right.
But his early roles, if you see the Wild Bunch, but particularly on the Waterfront. On the Waterfront is the one that really broke it. If you see that, you can watch that movie today.
Terry Malloy he played.
And it stacks up. That movie could have come out last year. That's how good his performance is. So he was so far ahead. What he did was so, like, you watch anything else from that time, and it's like, frankly, mate, it's all this weird way of talking, all that sort of stuff. But you see his performance in that, and it is like the acting that you see today. He created this grounded, less performative, less theatre-based way of acting on film where it looks natural. He would improvise, he would ad-lib.
Right.
So there was that sort of stuff going on. And that was when he loved it. And then you get the corruption of Hollywood and fame and all of that, and he goes completely off the rails. But that wasn't a unique experience to him.
So, because that famous movie,
many actors.
The famous movies where he's like, could have been a contender.
That one is a great film.
And then the other one too, we've run out of time, but when he showed up in Apocalypse Now, meant to be a colonel who's been in Vietnam starving, and he showed up massively overweight, and so they had to shoot everything in shadows, and he had to wear really dark clothes and stuff, but he still won the Oscar.
Yeah.
So it was just really interesting, fellas. Thanks for just a bit of acting chat, you know?
Acting chat.
Great
Good
stuff,
stuff there, Keyzie.
Thanks, fellas. That was just what I needed.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Hey, fellas, we've got a curry night coming up on Thursday, which is something the Big Show do together every now and then, just to catch up. The partners are coming, and I worry that we need to do a bit of admin around this. Is that all good?
Sure, man.
The Big Show's curry night.
It's probably a bit heavier than I was expecting on the bed there, Pugs.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. So, fellas, the thing I'm worried about is, when we usually go for a curry night, we'll order 4 curries, all right? And it's just the 4 of us, and we'll sort of, have a bit of Jase's horrible dal, and Michael will order a saguala or something weird like that.
Don't call it horrible, man.
Pugs, hang on, man.
And I've never ordered a dal in my life.
Now that the partners are coming, so there's going to be 8 of us, are we thinking of doing 8 different curries? Because I think that's too much.
I wouldn't worry about it, man.
Well, I am worried about it. It's keeping me up at night.
Well, why don't you think about what you're going to eat?
Well, yeah,
and
medium.
I'll think about what I'm going to eat.
No, I know, but I just want to I don't
know about this.
I just want to make sure, because I want a medium butter chicken.
No one's going to want to eat that, so you're all good. That's all yours.
No, but you say that, but Pugs will have some.
Hang on.
Can I just say, and I don't want to throw more stuff into the mix here, but my wife's gluten-free, so...
Right, so is that naan?
We couldn't get... I mean, you guys could probably get a naan, but she won't eat a naan.
Okay, so we ration, because there's 8 of us. 7.
And she's vegetarian.
Also, my partner's vegetarian.
She can have a dal. They can have a dal.
Yeah, okay.
They can have a...
You do order dal, see?
No, I've never ordered one in my life. She does.
Right, okay. Well, that's sort of...
She doesn't like dal, though, actually.
So what...
My wife's got a thing about fish.
So she likes fish, or
it makes her skin crawl.
Right, okay, so no fish curry.
I mean, I'll get a fish curry, because you like a fish curry, don't you, mate?
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, so if it makes your skin crawl, does she need
Not my skin.
Sorry, if it makes...
Her eating fish doesn't make my skin crawl.
Her
eating fish.
Her eating fish makes her skin crawl.
I guess what I'm saying is she doesn't like fish.
Yeah, right. Does she need to sit further away from you if you're eating?
No. It's just she doesn't want to eat it.
Well, just on where we're sitting, how do we want to sort of arrange it seat-wise?
Well, do you want...
I mean, we don't want to be just couple. I mean, we want to sort of mix.
I'm keen to sit next to Keizie's wife.
I'd be keen to sit next to yours, Jase.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to sit next to Mogie's wife, if that's all G.
Yeah.
Just another thing, when I go to restaurants, I drink a ton of piss.
Yeah.
And I've got no respect for the wait staff. That's another thing. Oftentimes I'll go out for lunch or a dinner. And then people get offended by how I talk to the wait staff.
No, we already know that, mate.
Yeah.
That's good admin.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, so I want butter chicken. Mogi, your wife doesn't want a fish curry. But
I don't know what she is going to want on the night, but I know what she won't want, and that is a fish curry.
But you probably will want a fish curry.
I might. We'll see how I feel.
And then Jase,
because I might have fish for lunch, Keyzie. And it's rare that I'll have fish twice in a day. Yeah, it's just me.
And then, Jase, you're going to order your first ever dal, but your wife won't want a naan bread.
Yeah, no, she doesn't eat naan.
Pompadom?
No, not even a pompadom.
Pompadom.
Sorry, a pompadon.
A pompadon. Yeah.
Pugs, do you have any requirements or anything?
Just that I sit next to Jase's wife.
And also, I'm not going to pay for any of it. That's the other thing, because Jase is shouting, right?
Yeah, that's right. Jase is shouting.
100%.
Actually, fellas, I've got a bit of an issue with that.
Jase, we're just going to nail down the order first. So we got 1 medium butter chicken. You're ordering your first ever dal. Mogie's probably ordering a fish curry.
Mate, can you write this down?
No, I am.
You're going to forget it.
The only thing my wife
just
likes,
write it down.
She prefers brown rice to white rice.
Right. You see, I don't think they serve brown rice at this restaurant.
Oh, that's racist.
Dish.
Okay, well, I'm glad we've sort of broken the back of it.
Well, there's things I want to touch on, but we can do that maybe tomorrow before the meal.
Okay. Just because it's been keeping me up at night, this curry admin. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
You two there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening.
Hey, fellas, sad news this evening. Sad news.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Val Kilmer passed away, star of screen, not stage, as far as I'm aware. Some massive roles in the like, where he was Iceman in the Top Gun movies. He was Jim Morrison in the Doors film, directed by Oliver Stone. He was the Saint. He played a lot of great roles. Tombstone's probably my favourite, where he played Doc Holliday. But in the Saint, now I heard this. Now this might be completely untrue, but I heard this story, so I'm prepared to tell it. And if you don't like it, come and sue NZ me.
No, don't encourage that.
So the story goes that Val Kilmer, when he was at the height of his stardom, was apparently a fairly massive prick.
Sure.
Which is not uncommon for, great-looking guys, movie star, woman, all the money, Keyzie. You know how it goes, brother.
You know me, man.
And so he was on the set, and he had a rule on set, apparently, and the rule was when he had his sunglasses on, you weren't allowed to talk to him. Okay?
That's so cool.
So if he was walking around on set and he had his sunnies on, no talking to Val Kilmer. If he had his sunglasses off, you're allowed to talk to him. All right? It's a very easy rule. Everyone just needs to follow it. For one of the scenes, his armourer was talking to him about the weapon that he was going to be using in that scene. Val Kilmer's talking to him, chatting away, sunglasses off, obviously, which is why the armourer was allowed to talk to him. And he's taking him through this handgun. He's describing the type of gun it is, what he needs to do during the scene with the gun to ensure that he remains safe at all times and make sure he understands where to point it, etc., etc., etc. Val Kilmer seems to be interested, but after about a minute or so, he says to the armourer, "So have you ever killed a man?" And the armourer, who's from New Zealand, says, "Nah, man." So Val Kilmer looks at him and puts his sunglasses on and then walks away.
Is that cool? Is that really dickish?
Dickish. Right?
Yeah.
Dickish.
But isn't it amazing that you can be an actor and think that you're that important?
Sure.
That you can talk to people like that.
Absolutely.
That really warmed my heart when I heard that, because I thought, what an absolute belly.
That's one of my favourite things to read about actors, what
it's
they're
the
like on
best.
set, you know what I mean? And how they all have these little rules. And
Did you guys have any?
I heard another great one about one of the biggest actors in the world, an African-American actor, and he had a sign, he had quite a big area on set, a lot of caravans, trailers, and it was fenced off, and he had security that would be at the door for these trailers. And it had a sign on it. This is like within the last 20 years. And it had a sign on it, and it said, "No white people allowed."
Really?
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
This is a huge star. You'd be surprised to know. But the stuff that goes on set, like I worked in for production for years, and that was the best thing about the jobs, was the stories, the insane stories of the things that are allowed.
The Hauraki Big Show. Weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
The Verve there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Thursday afternoon. The time is 4:37. Now, fellas, there's something I'd like to have a quick chat to you about, if that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
You know, every now and then what we do on the show is we put something to a poll, or we ask for, suggestions from our audience.
Yeah.
And then we see what the people say, and we tend to go with what they say. They're binding referendums. Recently, we purchased a cat. And we put it to the people, what should Hoyte J's new cat be called? And was the outcome.
Look, Jase, they voted, right?
Exactly, and this is not for me to go against what the people want.
Yeah.
But picture, if you would, me going home to my family last night and saying, "Family, I've got the name, the people have decided," because I told them that the people were going to decide, and they went, "Fair enough."
Yeah.
Saying to my family, "The cat from henceforth shall be known as..."
What did they say?
There was a deafening silence.
Yeah. Did they not hear you? You should have said it again.
So what are you proposing here?
And a look of disgust
Yeah.
on their faces.
What are you proposing?
I just want to maybe put it out there because there were so many things that came in. Was there like a second place? Was there a third place? And maybe just explore other options other than...
Other than I see.
Yeah. Well, there was a long list.
There was.
And we were inundated because we ran it over a week. So people, the audience sent in their suggestions. We've got a long list of 10 and we can work through
I've got
that.
the top 10.
I am reluctant, but I also take your point. And I take your family's point that it's probably, it was a tough one to get past the keeper. So
It certainly was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we look back at the top 10 list, we'll go back and you can just pick one of the runners up.
Sure.
All right,
number 10.
Number one, obviously, is, well,
Yeah.
you know what it is. It's number 2, Bussy. That was the second most voted for. Do you want your cat to be called Bussy?
Look, I'm happy with Jase if that's the two sort of options right there, yeah.
Third option, Grogan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Grogan.
I mean, these are just the runners up.
What about this one? Smokey?
Oh, Smokey, that's nice, Smokey.
Yeah.
Smokey, that could work. Yeah,
What about
but
this
she's
one?
not really grey and white, though, which is what
Yeah.
you tend to call her. Oh, I suppose she's tabby, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
What about Bandit?
Bandit, yeah, because she's cheeky.
What about Puss?
What about Tigger?
Oh, well, you see, that's cute.
And this one here, which I quite liked, Socks.
Oh, you see, this is...
Turd Blackadder. Once again, this is just the top list.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, okay. Turd Blackadder. Well, I think my daughter would miss the reference there.
Yeah, true.
Obviously a Canterbury fan.
What about Georgie Boy?
Oh, you see...
Clunge. Are any of these?
What's that?
Well, I don't know. It's just the name that's come through. I've no
Oh,
idea.
right, okay.
Yeah.
What about Pebbles?
Oh, you see...
Skid mark. I mean, you know, are any of these?
Actually, fellas, let's just stick with Jase, eh?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.